Hi, so today I'm going to talk about my seeds because I'm obsessed with seeds, and our Veggie Start CSA that we do each year. Well, last year was the first year, but we are growing extra Veggie Starts for plant sale, but instead of just growing them and then having a plant sale, I also offer a CSA share option that gives people the opportunity to order their garden plants from us before we grow them. So in February, the CSA form will be open and we'll be taking orders. Like the last week in February, I starting Veggie Start seeds. So I've been organizing my seeds today to get on the website. I have a list of everything that's here on our website, so people can go through and pick and choose every type of tomato or pepper or whatever that they want in their order, or they can just say, I want a heirloom slicer, and they can say I like red or yellow or dark varieties or whatever, and then I can come up with what they like and give them something. All right, so here's all my tomato seeds. There's a lot. I've got them kind of sorted here. These are all basically slicers. These are all basically canning tomatoes and sauce tomatoes, and these are cherry and grape and pear miniature tomatoes. I've gone through these already and kind of counted all the seeds that looked low and figured out what I have the most of to make sure that I have enough to put them in my CSA offerings, and also trying to figure out what I want to grow for us. I like to have 15 to 20 different varieties of tomatoes in our garden. Most of our orders that come in just want 2 or 3. So for most of our orders this year, I try to pick like some really popular tomatoes. So that's why I've got 4 packets here of Cherokee Purples. They are always a winner in the heirloom tomato department. These Abe Lincolns I grew last year, it said it was a medium to large slicer. Some of these that I grew last year were massive. They were like 2-pound tomatoes. So I have a bunch of those too. I'm gonna grow a whole bunch of those as my main slicers. If you don't specify what you want, or you just say dark, or you just say red, those are what you're getting. Then I have a variety of kind of yellowish tomatoes. The gold medal is excellent. I have I should have organized these better. I have these hillbilly potato leaf. That's a really good, flavorful, kind of rainbow colored tomato. Yellow brandywine. This guy, Dr. Wychie, or however you call that, in Kellogg's Breakfast. These are new to me this year, but I've heard amazing things about these yellow tomatoes. And I've got just a ton of others. The Blue Beauty, and the other one I'll be growing a lot of for the plant sale is the Black Beauty. Very popular if you like that rich flavor of a dark tomato. But like I said, all of them are listed on our website. And the Millionaire wasn't really impressed with it last year, but I grew a whole bunch of them. The Carbon and the Black Crim are basically the same thing, as far as I can tell. And they're basically the same thing as the Cherokee Purple, but don't tell anyone. This Pink Ponderosa one was pretty good last year. Blue Beauty's favorite. The Rebecca Allen would actually be on that pile with the Abe Lincoln and the Cherokee Purple, except that I didn't get any more seeds, so I don't have that many. Same with the Mortgage Lifter. Amazing tomato, but I don't have that many. That one's kind of so-so. I don't really like those. These are new to me this year. I like a good pink tomato, so I'm gonna try some new ones. And absolutely love pink brandywines, but again, didn't order more seeds. So I'm trying to restrain myself. What can I say? These are our sauce tomatoes. The most popular and the best one, and the one I will recommend to everybody, is the San Marzano. They're awesome. It's similar to aroma, but better flavor and an indeterminate plant, so it keeps making tomatoes. I have Romas in case that's what you're interested in. Lots of people want Romas. These orange icicles are basically like an orange San Marzano. They are super yummy, but I've had bad luck with the plants dying early, so I don't usually do much with those. Amish paste is one I'm trying this year because people were requesting it, and these are just behind those. These are not, this is, okay, the Beta Lux is technically a canning tomato, but it also is small. It's a little bushy plant that doesn't require staking and would do well in a container, which is why it's here with the microtom, which I was gonna grow. It's like a super tiny tomato. The whole plant's only like 6 inches tall, and I was gonna try to put some of those in pots because they're cute. See? Okay, move all those over. So we also have a variety of cherry tomatoes. These are new this year, the Sweetheart cherry, because look how adorable they are. Chadwick cherries are really big, kind of like this picture. Now, did I say that? Yellow pears are always popular, if you like those. Like little yellow light bulb tomatoes. Black cherries are also popular, which is why I have 3 packets. They are very flavorful, a good size little cherry tomato, but they make a really ugly sauce. It turns like totally brown. Not that you're supposed to make sauce with cherry tomatoes, but they're that prolific. The Tomito is another red cherry, and the blueberry cherries are really my favorite. They make a cute little tiny purplish blue red, okay, I know those are lots of colors you can see. Anyway, tomato. And new this year we have Brad's Atomic Grape. I've heard good things about them. They're kind of crazy colored, and I've always wanted to try them. So that wraps up our tomato selections. It's one of those things, like if you don't grow lots of varieties of tomatoes, you're kind of like glazing over as I talk about them, but just wait till you try them. So there are 5 or 6, there are 6 basic categories that we offer in the Plant Start CSA. We have not yet expanded to doing a spring share, though I kind of want to. But we have the tomatoes that I just showed you. We have peppers. Peppers can be broken down into categories similarly to the tomatoes. Cucumbers, pumpkins, and winter squash, summer squash, and herbs. We do 3 types of add-ons. This year we're doing 3. Last year we only did 2. We do, so like you can order your garden plants in either 3, 9, or 18 plants. And then you can order an add-on, which is another 9 plants of a pollinator garden. So flowers that attract pollinators, a cut flower garden, or an herb garden this year. The herb garden is new. I'm going to do a mix of annual and perennial herbs in just a grower's mix, which is how the flowers are too. And you can just add that on to your order and get surprised by all the fun plants I come up with. And the really fun part about the CSA is that, like, yeah, on one hand, like last year, my dill did not grow. It was like this big. So people got some really dinky little dill starts in their shares. But anybody who got dill got at least 2 of them and got something else to replace it, because I was like, this is not worth it. So there's always going to be extra of something, and I will be throwing that into the CSA shares. Okay, so now we're going to kind of go over the peppers. Again, so many options. Here's my other pepper pile. We have jalapenos, which are supposed to be a jalapeno without the heat. But in my experience last year, sometimes they were a jalapeno without the heat, and sometimes they were the spiciest jalapeno you have ever had in your entire life. It's kind of a fun game. We tested every one after I made an atomically hot batch of salsa. Okay, so anyway, we have banana peppers, and I'm planning to grow quite a few popolanos this year, because yum, I just discovered how fun they are. All right, so next up is Norman's still barking. sweet peppers. Think he'll stop? Okay. We've got the sweet bonnet, which I grew last year, but I started them really late, so they didn't make very much, but they were good. Blot sweet peppers. It's kind of a sunset colored, super sweet pepper. They were just amazing. I love them. Very prolific. I got another packet of those. These Lesha sweet peppers were also phenomenal. This one is popular, but we don't have that many of them. These Jimmy Nardello, they look just like the picture. Also very prolific. And these are my favorite little round bell-like sweet pepper, basically. They have a really long, weird name. Anyway, they have really thick skin, not a lot, or thick flesh, that's what it is. Not a lot of seeds. They're about this big. The plants make tons of them, and they come in yellow and red and orange. And they're just so much better. They're kind of like what I would want a mini bell pepper to be, but mini bell peppers are not them. So this year I finally ran out of my seeds, and Baker Creek doesn't carry these anymore. So in there is a bunch of seeds that I saved. I had to strip tons of peppers to get that many seeds. So I'm really hoping that they will grow. So next we're going on to spicy peppers. We have saved seeds in here too that I've saved the last couple years. Thai chilies and ghost peppers. You can tell we did not want to clean off the ghost pepper seeds, so I just left them, but they still grow. I don't have very many of those left. Last year I could not find Thai chilies, and I didn't know if my saved seeds would grow, so I bought these, and they both grew. And these were kind of blah. Carolina Reavers, just, you know, for fun. There's the Thai chili packet, even though I saved my seeds and didn't put them in the packet. We have these orange spice jalapenos, which I'm really excited to try some different kinds of jalapenos. We have these Craig's Grande jalapenos, and then I also have lemon spice jalapenos. Just think of the cowboy candy with yellow, red, and orange jalapenos in it. It'll be so pretty. I've also got some generic jalapenos in case I run out of seeds. These purple Bueno Mulata peppers are kind of like a cayenne. They made an amazing pink hot sauce last year, but I'm still not sure I'm going to grow them again because nobody wanted to buy them. I've got this new one, which is supposed to be a good pickling pepper, and I've got Tabasco peppers because people just like familiar names when it comes to this plant sale stuff, but I've kind of always wanted to try them, so here we are. Okay, now last year I had a lot of requests for different colors of bell peppers, and all I could find for seeds were mixed bells. So this year I have all the kinds of bell peppers. We have these bullnose, these little mini yellow stuffing peppers, supposed to be really sweet. We have a few more lilac bells, but I don't think I listed them on the website because there's so few seeds. California Wonder did really well. So this year new, we have the Chocolate Beauty. That's the King of the North. We sold a lot of those last year. Last year I could only find red varieties. King of the North, Ozark Giant, and California Wonder were the main bell peppers I offered last year, other than mixed bell peppers. Anyway, but these guys, I was gonna get, which I actually do have orange bells also, but I got these guys. I don't even know how to say that name, but they sound amazing. Very sweet orange bell-like pepper. The Golden Cal Wonder bell, there's an orange bell. These yellow monsters looked really fun. It says they get to 8 inches long. It's a huge pepper. Another California Wonder, another King of the North. I have these mixed bell peppers. I have some mini bells, which look adorable. Seems like every plant I grow is this color though. Now that I look at it, it's like chocolate color, which is good, but they don't have a lot of flesh, but they're super cute. Depends on what you're doing with them, whether they are worth it or not. Anyway, there's an Ozark Giant. I don't have that many of the Ozark Giants left, but I'm gonna have all the colors of bell peppers this year, and in a way that you can pick them. Okay, so the next category is cucumbers. Why do they give these things such weird names? So this is the Natsu Fushinari I'll go with. It is a long, smooth, shiny, I believe Japanese, yes, Japanese cucumber. It is so good. They're so good for slicing or for pickling. The Market More is a very good slicing cucumber, so is the Muncher and the Monica. All awesome, and I just grow them all and then people can pick. For pickling cucumbers, we have Chicago pickling this year, which I was wanting to try for Baker Creek, and then I also have some hybrids that I got from Johnny's. These salt and pepper ones are kind of a lighter color. Any of them are awesome for pickling. And then I also have these Mexican sour gherkins, which are not really the same thing as a cucumber, but they look fun. And last year I couldn't get any of them to germinate at all, so we will see what happens this year. So now on to summer squash. As you can see, my seed organization system is quite high-tech. Baggies and baggies inside of baggies. I have two basic piles of summer squash seeds, and there's some extras in there. They're in a separate baggie, that's why I could tell those are the extras. And this thing is a dried squash that it's just like the neck of a big giant crookneck that we found in the garden when we moved here, and I've been kind of hoarding the last of the seeds from this volunteer variety that lived at least 5 years between the last garden and our garden, and it just grew in there. Anyway, pretty cool. So I've got some heirloom varieties and some non-heirloom varieties. And I have them listed like that on the website. We've got these from Baker Creek, the golden zucchini, the black beauty zucchini, green bush zucchini, and the crookneck early golden, which I offered last year. But I was expanding my heirloom offerings for the CSA and the plant sale. And then I have these guys, which were very popular last year. Green Machine. This is a crookneck squash. Multi-pick is kind of in between a crookneck and a straight neck yellow squash. But very prolific. There's another Green Machine. Noche is another really good green zucchini. And Golden Glory is a yellow zucchini, and that was really tasty last year. I really like them. And they all did really well. I didn't grow as many heirloom varieties last year. I really think, unfortunately, that with our pest pressure here, if you're going to grow organically, that the hybrids actually did better. I got a lot more fruit or vegetable, whatever, off of them earlier in the season before the plants were overtaken by the bugs. All right, we're on to our last category of seeds for the CSA offerings. They are winter squash and melons. So this year I have a bunch of new pumpkins. I've got these flat white pumpkins. Big Macs is one I offered last year, and they're really good. Or if you just want to grow a big fun pumpkin, these I had good luck with too. They're like a fun Cinderella pumpkin. These Geraldale, these make like a green version of this one, which would be really good to eat. I don't have enough of those left. I don't have enough of those left. And I also have New England sugar pie pumpkins. Now, personally, I don't like to grow pumpkins, but people request them for the CSA, and they are really easy to start in a tray ahead of time and get people a head start on their pumpkin growing. But without chemical pesticides, I find it very difficult to make it through pumpkin season. But we have a lot of pests out here that aren't always around in town. So what I like to grow instead of pumpkins is butternut varieties. I'm trying this Long Island cheese pumpkin this year. It looks like a pumpkin, but the plant is scientifically the same as a butternut squash, which means that the stem is solid instead of hollow, so that when you have a vine borer come and get into your plant, it doesn't do as much damage. Vine borers are horrible here. The yamkin is another, and I also have some saved butternut squash seeds. Now, unlike the summer squash, I find that the heirloom varieties of winter squash do really well, and especially if I use up these, use the ones that are solid stem, like butternut varieties, then I get a lot more harvest out of my winter squash. The solid stem varieties also seem to make it through the whole summer. Like, they'll make it past the pest pressure, where the summer squash all dies in like August and you have to replant it if you want a fall crop. So this bag, ignore all the words on it, is loofah seeds. This is all loofah seeds. Loofahs have done pretty well for me. I just grow them in a trellis in a flower field, and they grow out there and I don't notice them until the end of the season. I'm trying some new gourds this year. These little winter squash mix decorative things, and also the daisy gourds from Johnny's. And then I'm not sure I'm going to offer these for the CSA, but I'm just growing them because they're fun. Alright, so then the rest of this is watermelons. Our main variety of watermelons are the Jubilee, which is just like a normal looking red watermelon. We also have Orange Glow watermelons that are, I guess I have to open the bag, that are orange, but they look like a regular watermelon on the outside. It's really fun though when you forget you planted orange watermelons. See, they look kind of like these, but these are like little 2 to 4 pound mini orange watermelons. So I'm kind of excited to try those. These Leadman watermelons, I've never got to the point of eating one. Since I've started planting my watermelons in the trellis with the other winter squash, they all seem to die. But other people have told me they've had good luck with different watermelons. But these have a very thin rind and don't do well shipped, according to the seed packet, but they taste amazing. So I would love to have one actually grow, but I'm about over wasting space for watermelons in my garden. But if you have the space and you live somewhere where your pest pressure is a little lower, they're really not hard to grow at all. Okay, so that was all of my seeds for the CSA and the 5 or 6, why do I keep saying 5? 6 categories: tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, winter squash, summer squash, herbs, and technically flowers. So that's 7 categories, so 5 is never going to cut it. So that's that. I highly recommend a CSA model if you are growing seedlings for a plant sale. It takes a lot of the stress out of putting in all that work to know that they're pre-sold, or at least in our case, like half of what I ended up growing was pre-sold. So on one hand, it takes away a lot of the stress of doing all that work and not knowing if anybody's going to come to your plant sale. On the other hand, it added a whole new level of stress because I felt like I really had to make it work. But that is really something I imposed on myself. It says right on my website that if in case of crop failure, I will substitute. In case of total crop failure, I will refund. So I mean, things are often out of our control, but it worked out last year. It's worked out the 2 years before that when I grew things on this kind of scale, even though it has gotten bigger every year. But anyway, so look at our other video about the CSA. I will link it at the end of this video. On that video, it shows us splitting up the shares and the orders. I put out crates and put everybody's plants in. I had a master list with everyone's order, and it was a lot more work than I expected, but now we've got a system, so I don't think it's going to be too bad this year. I'll go into it prepared for it to take an entire day. And it was really, really nice to get that done and send all those plants to their new homes. Now, one thing I would like to change this year is I would like to see these plants. So I'm trying to come up with some sort of like incentive for my CSA members to send me pictures of their gardens, because I want to see my plant babies grow up. And I won't get mad at you if they die. I understand. I kill lots of mine too. So that is all for today. Thanks for listening to my crazy seed rambling. I will see you next time, and at some point I will make a video about starting all these seeds, because I don't just put seeds in trays. That would be too simple. In other news, because I'm just not gonna shut up here, I talked to you last time about our greenhouse storage problem. Remember this? My big mess of all of this stuff. So what is happening now outside is we are building or putting together a portable shed, which is basically like a tent. Yeah, because look at all this mess. Anyway, so all of this is going in the 17 by 10 portable shed from Harbor Freight. So I will show you that. This is the frame of the portable shed. This thing is huge. It's massive. What else can I do with this?